What is
happening,
fishers? Dina from Untraceable Fishing here tonight once again with Jared from Bilimoria Fishing Tackle, and welcome to
Tackle Tuesdays.
Anyway, guys, this is the third and last part in the series of PE ratings. If you guys are watching for the first time, go have a look at last week's video. We ran PE 2 to 4. The week before that, we did PE 1 to 2. So we're going to finish it off quite quickly tonight, guys. We're going to run PE 4 right up to 10. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time and don't know what PE rating is, PE rating is pretty much the rating given to the amateur, not the breaking strain of your braid. So instead of saying, hey, Jared, go to Bilimoria and pick me up 50-pound braid, and he comes back with, say, Berkeley Whiplash, for instance, which is a lot thinner than other brands out there, and I'm fishing with a thinner braid. I actually want a thicker braid. So it's easier for me to say, hey, Jared, go to Bilimoria and get me some PE 5. No matter what he comes back with, I know that the amateur is right, guys. And it also makes life a lot easier when it comes to knowing how much a line your reel is going to take. So a quick rundown on I was chatting to Jared earlier now. So especially on the Dow reels, as the guys are coming to it, on a 20,000 size reel, it holds 300 meters of PE 10. If you're fishing with an 18,000 size reel, PE 8, it'll hold 300 meters. A 14,000 size reel holds 300 meters of PE 6. 10,000 holds 300 meters of PE 5, and 8,000 holds 300 meters of PE 4, guys. So it's quite a simple way of knowing how much line your reel holds. A lot of guys, well, 300 meters isn't quite enough, guys. We are talking lure casting here, guys. So predominantly, if you're casting lures, even if you're chasing big tuna and stuff like that, 300 meters is sufficient. It's sufficient. Listen, if you're hitting big tuna off the land, maybe not, but normally the guys are tuna fishing off the boat. So that's pretty much it, guys. So like Jared said to me earlier, like, PE 8 and stuff's quite heavy for like our domestic market.
Yeah.
So we're not targeting the guys fishing locally, guys. I think if you are spinning off the rocks, off the boat, I think, as Jared said to me, PE 6, I think, is more than enough for the species we're getting here and the place we're getting. But there are some guys out there that are fortunate enough to travel. They're going to Saudi Arabia. They're going to the Great Barrier Reef. They're going up Africa where they're targeting big tarpon. They're targeting big GTs, amberjack, and things like that, where you need that extra coverage, guys. So what we're going to do is run through the PE rating. So we're going to pull out what a typical PE 4 setup looks like first, guys. So we're looking at shore-based or bait-based game angling here. So I'll pull the first rod and reel up that we've chosen here tonight. You will notice tonight, guys, the stuff is a lot more higher end. Because we are going up the PE ratings, you need to buy the best that your budget can afford. There's no use. I think all you know is going to go target a big dogtooth tuna or a big 40 kilo GT on a reel that's not the best you can afford. That reel's not going to last, guys. So we have picked out some of the better stuff here tonight. It was also nice just to play with some of the more expensive stuff. So anyway, Jared, I'm going to hand over the first setup here to Jared this evening.
So this setup, the PE 4 setup of choice. This is the Akuma Metalloid popping, and we've got this paired with the Shimano Twin Power 8000.
Okay, guys, so that's what we pretty much chosen out for our PE 4 setup. Just do you remember an 8,000 size doesn't mean you have to fish PE 4 on it. You can welcome fish PE 3 on it if you want some more line there. PE 2, all depends on the fishing conditions, but we're just going for
a suggestion, basically. Okay. A general.
Okay, then Jared, say I'm keen PE 4. What sort of fish? What sort of fish are we going to target on PE 4?
PE 4, and from what I've seen, would be your bigger bonnies. Depending on where you are in parts of the world, the queen mackerel. If you're up overseas in America, sorry, not in America, up in New Zealand and Australia. So big queen mackerel.
Maybe some of
your smaller tuna species outside.
And then your blue trevally, your blue kingfish, and things like that. Yeah. So anyway, guys, some coral trout if you're going overseas and things like that. And for the African market, I think if you're looking for a nice little yellowtail or a big Larry or big Garrick off the rocks, I think a PE 4 setup like this is ideal. Yes. We're not having to make super long casts. We're fishing in some deeper water. I think they'll make a great setup to anyone's aspect. And if you are going out to sea, we're only catching yellowfin here, guys. I think this will handle yellowfin quite well. A smaller yellowfin, when they get to 100 kilos, you might need to
beef it up for your area.
For your area, guys. Anyway, so when it comes to lure size for PE4, I'm going to build a selection of lures that we've pulled out tonight, guys. So this is pretty much PE4 and PE5 size lures that I would suggest, Jared and I suggest use for PE4 and 5. PE4 and 5, very similar setups, one slightly lighter, but your lure size is predominantly going to stay the same, guys.
Yes.
So Jared, run through those lures for us there.
So we've grabbed a couple here. I'm going to do them one at a time. So this would be the CRD shiver stick. So this is the 125. So it's a 125 mil in a 45 gram, just as your stick bait option. Then what we've got that works quite well locally, and I've seen some good fish overseas, is the clone lures. So these work quite well for your game fish species. And then last but not least, a lot of the guys will always throw poppers. So what we've grabbed here is Halco's Rooster Poppers. They've got a really good name and a good reputation in the local market, and will be ample for the job.
Now guys, so when it comes to your mid-range PEs, your PE4, PE5, even PE6, you can get away with one rod that does your stick baits and your popping.
And your popping, yes.
Now, when you start getting to PE8 and 10, even PE6, and you're throwing those bigger lures, like we're going to pull out here, your stick bait rods are not going to handle the swirl. The stick bait rods have got a bit of a softer tip.
Yes.
You're really going to have to work very hard to get these these lures to pop and do what they need to do. So, I suggest if you are doing PE8 and 10, you have to start looking at two different setups, guys. Yes. Obviously, a specific popping rod
and that's specific,
super stiff. It's got no action in that rod. That rod's not designed for playing fish or enjoyment of playing fish. That it's designed
lock
for
and load.
It's for locking and loading, guys. But that's why we are putting 100-pound braid on or PE10 braid on. It's a lock and load rod designed for casting. Rod designed more for casting and lure action than actually manipulating fish.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to move on to PE5, which is very similar to PE4. So we just pulled out something quite different here this evening. It's a rod that I should quite like. We'll let Jared run through it with us. There we go.
So the rod that we've pulled out here is the Pen Battalion. This would be one of their popping rods. We've got it paired with the Saltist MQ10000. As Dean said, it would be good for that PE5 type setup, and it would throw basically the same lures as what your PE4 does.
Okay, guys, so I'll pull that as an option out. Bit of a more budget-friendly reel. Bit more of a, I think rods are pretty much in the same class price-wise.
Pretty much.
But just a bit of a more friendly option. You're still getting a good quality reel. We are fishing PE5, fishing 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 40 pounds, depending on the brand. So I think a Saltist will make a beautiful addition for on your lighter setups like that, guys. Okay, so now we've pretty much taken care of our domestic
market
uses.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going overseas, guys. It's going to happen soon. So we're going to get some proper tackle, guys. So what I've noticed with the guys in Australia and stuff like that normally carry a PE10 rod with them, full out heavy, like the double barrel shotgun. They like to carry a PE6 with them, and then either 2 and a 3, just for your lighter. There's pretty much 3 setups. PE6, very versatile setup. PE6, you can start looking at your 40 kilo GTs on it. You can start pulling them. It's just depending on the terrain. So
I think the advantage there as well is that if the fish are a bit slow and you still want to get a lure in the water to target something, the PE6 is a setup you can still fish for a long period of time.
Correct.
If you guys watch the overseas market, some of those guys spin with a setup like this for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time.
You'll notice that they'll pull out their PE8 and 10s.
When the big fish
they have 10 or 15 throws and they switch over. It's a hell of it.
It's taxing on the body.
Yeah, I don't know if the weight to the reel, the weight to the rod, I don't know if any of you have pulled a plug that big before. It takes a lot of hard work to pull that plug, guys. Where PE6 is a bit more friendly. You can get those big GTs. And if a little bluefin trevally does come along, or coral trout, we're talking overseas species here, guys, because we are talking, brains we're overseas at the moment. You can still have fun catching a fish. You're still going to get a bit of some joy out of it. So Jared chose the PE6 setup. So Jared, go choose us for a PE6 setup. So this is what Jared has chosen for himself this evening.
So this is the Assassin Popmaster Zero. This is the 2X heavy as the PE6 setup, paired with the twin power 10,000. Sorry, the 14,000. 10,000 will also work, but the 14,000, just because of the PE rating, 14,000 is a better option.
You don't want to waste braid, guys. And then also gear ratios play a big part in it. Some have faster gear ratios, slower gear ratios. So depending on the application you're using it for, look at which wheel. 10,000 will work, 14,000 will work. Okay, so now we're going to get on to some of the bigger lures. Now we're talking like medium size. We're looking at like lures like probably 12 to 15 sort of centimeter top. You're going to be throwing on a PE6. So Jared, run through the lures this evening that we've chosen.
So what we've grabbed here is just 2 color variations of the X-Rap Rapala Magnum Explodes. So this would be your poppers. So in terms of a weight, you're probably looking about anywhere from a 50 to about a 60 gram as your poppers. And then another option I've grabbed, you'll see they're all the same lure. So they're both Nomad Riptides, one being a sinking stick bait, one being a floating stick bait, depending on where you're fishing and the amount of current in the area. So you're covering the surface and subsurface.
Okay, guys. So that takes care of PE6. So now we're going to get into the big boys, guys. PE8, PE10. Some guys carry a PE10. You hardly ever see guys carrying a PE8 and a PE10. They normally carry the one of the others. A lot of tackle, heavy tackle to carry around. So when you're talking PE8, PE10, predominantly the guys, offshore guys, are throwing 20,000, 18,000 with it.
Yes.
But there are instances when the guys are fishing closer into, they might not use the 18 or 20,000. They might step down to a 14,000 on PE10. They might put 200 meters on. They're targeting GTs.
It's more of a case of you're going to get cut off than you're going to get spooled.
So listen, the guys that are targeting those fish on locked out drags.
Yeah.
For the reason that if that fish does take off and one bit of reef gets touched, you're going to break no matter what line you got on.
Yes.
So much power. So the guys might choose a smaller reel so they can stand and throw a bit the whole day. But we're going to go for the norm. So we're going to pull out our PE8 setup. My chosen setup for this evening. So we'll let Jared run through with it. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one, guys.
This
there
one.
it is.
So the setup that Dean chose is the Akuma Metalloid. This is their popping rod. The newer version on the market, paired with a Dawa Saltiga 18,000.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's a awesome setup. But if I was going anywhere, I think that's a setup I'd grab in a heartbeat, guys.
I think your advantage is you've already got the reel.
I've already got the reels. You just need the rod. So that's why I did choose it. You just giving my secrets away. At least I can afford to buy the rod.
Hundreds.
Happy days, guys. So anyway, so PE8 lure size, Jared. What are we looking at there?
So PE8, going back to, you'll see it's all a similar type of lure, just scaling up in size. So once again, the Nomad Chug Norris as your popper. Then from Nomad as well, we've got the Mad Scad sinking stick bait.
It was a crazy action bait that day. Absolutely beautiful. Fantastic, guys.
And then just on a slightly more affordable option, but still really good quality, we've got the Rapala X-Rap Magnum sticks. Really nice option as well, especially if you just want to scale down a little bit in terms of your expenditures, but you'll still get away with good quality lures.
Okay, guys, that takes care of PE8. Now we're going to go to PE10. PE10 is not the heaviest rating, guys. PE ratings never stop. So as the line diameter goes up, but PE10 is pretty much the heaviest fishable at this stage of line that the guys are using. Yeah. There's no reason to fish anything heavier than that. Lines getting a bit thick. PE10, now we're looking at, we're chasing big yellowfin tuna. Yeah. I've seen guys chase bluefin tuna on this. Yes, they get their beep handed to them most of the time. Now and again, they do get a fish out. Guys are dropping deep water lures for doggies, hooking them, pulling the boat off as fast as they can, pulling that fish off the reef into the deeper water.
Yes.
So I've watched that, guys. Guys are catching sailfish on this. This is as strong as as heavy as going to get, guys. So we've pulled an absolute beast of a rod out here tonight, guys. And we've paired it up with one of the top reels in the world. Jared pulled it out. This was Jared's choice. So
Dean and I actually spoke about this rod last week, and we said we have to leave it for last for this just because of what it's rated. So this is the Shimano Therese paired with the Shimano Stella 20,000, which you guys will see a lot of the overseas anglers use. It is next to the Saltiga be-all, end-all of setups. When you're fishing for a species like that and you're going overseas and you're spending money on a trip, you need a fish with proper quality tackle, and that's proper quality.
Okay, guys, and then now you'll understand, Jared's the guys are new to lure fishing, the type of lures that we're going to throw in this, you're going to see just by the size and the volume of the lures why you need such a beefy tackle. Jared, run through us.
As Dean is saying, in terms of a sizing, you're looking at like between 150 mil to 180 mil lures, going back
up to like 200 gram type of thing.
Yeah, going back on the Rapala, the Magnum Explode as your popper. Another option, just if you want a premium quality lure with good quality components, best on the market, the Nomad Chug Norris.
Oh, you got to love the chug, but
Those things work.
yeah.
And then we've got 2 color variations again of the Riptide stick baits, the slow sinking and a floating. And then crazy action can be used for trolling as well. The Nomad and the Mad Scat, probably one of the best actions you're going to find on the market.
So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. Hope that gives you a quick run through on the heavier PE ratings. We are talking specifically lure fishing guys. Yes, there are guys that are running PE10 doing our rock and surf fishing. Yeah, guys fishing 100 pound for bronzies.
Yeah.
We do like that, but we've specifically targeted things towards lure fishing, yeah, guys. Don't forget, if you are throwing heavier PEs, make sure best quality tackle you can afford, best quality braid. 2 best braids on the market. J braid, phenomenally well known. I think it's one of the most popular braids that is used around the world, especially for this type of fishing, guys. Absolutely phenomenal. That is available in South Africa. There are some other brands out there. I'm not going to mention names because we can't even get them in the country.
Yeah.
The guys are going wild on them. And then obviously J braid. We also have obviously our DNA, JDB. It's not available to the overseas market. It's only South Africa. So we're going to pick J braid as one of our top braids there tonight. And then Owner's Kuzune also. Absolutely top notch braid, guys. If you are chasing those bigger fish, you want the best braid money can afford. The best components, take time when you're not, put the effort in, plan those trips well, guys. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us this evening. We've got something totally different set up for you for next week. So from Dean from Untraceable Fishing and
Jarred from Bilimoria Fishing.
cheers.
Cheers.